What up, everybody? I want to give you a quick little review on the SIG P320 AXG Legion safety check there for you. This is a pretty expensive pistol, not gonna lie, so I figured before anyone buys it, you might want to have a rundown on my thoughts. I've had this for probably about a year and a half now, put maybe something like 1,000 rounds through it. It's kind of casual use, so a couple quick thoughts on it. I'll start off with the negatives. It is a bit loose. It's not like it's crazy ridiculous loose, but you know, base price of this pistol, something like $1,400, not cheap. Frankly, for that much money, you'd probably hope there was no wiggle in the slide. There is a bit of wiggle. You can probably see it there between the slide and the frame. I suspect that's mostly because you're not really connecting the slide directly to the frame because of the fire control unit system. You're connecting the slide to something that's connected to the frame. And I think that's just kind of an inherent thing with the P320s and 365s is you're not getting that direct mount from the slide to the frame. So yeah, there's gonna be a bit of wiggle. It's not the end of the day. At the ultimately, this thing is a lot more accurate than I am. So whatever. That's one thing I wish was a little better. The other thing is, just making sure it's all clear, the trigger is not bad. You've probably heard a lot of people talk about the SIGs having like a rolling break or something. I think that's probably a pretty fair comment. What that means is, you know, it has an initial bit of take up, but then there's not really a super clear wall. You just get to this point where it's like there's more resistance and then eventually it kind of goes off. I think if you're actually at the range, if you notice that kind of thing a whole lot, you're probably staging your shots to the point where it's like, okay, just pull the trigger and get your shot out and out of the way. So it doesn't really bother me, but again, if you're spending that much money on a pistol, you probably should just have that in mind. I know some gun stores don't let you try the trigger out before you buy it. So if you're expecting an outstanding trigger, maybe look elsewhere, but it's not like it was so bad to turn me off from buying it, obviously. And those are kind of things I don't like. So yeah, slide to fit frame could be better. Trigger could be better. But besides that, I actually do like this pistol quite a lot. A couple things I've done to it. Number one, it has the Romeo X open, like non-closed emitter in there. So yeah, only one piece of glass in the front. They do have a newer version with a piece of glass in the back. Not a cheap optic. There are definitely more expensive and less expensive options out there, but I like it a lot. It's got very positive buttons on it that are easy to use. The battery is accessed on the side, meaning you don't have to take any trays out. It's just very simple to get to. I've had this particular optic on there for about a year, not replaced the battery yet. That's not to be expected. Like, you'd expect this thing to last quite a while. It has, so that's been nice. It's held to 0, so that's been good too. This particular version also allows you to pick between a dot, circle dot, or just a circle in case you're weird. So that's kind of cool. And you can also co-witness the irons. These are just standard height irons through the optic, which is cool. And then since I'm talking about the irons, these are a tritium option, which I really like. Will I need tritium and a red dot? Probably not, but you know, you're spending a lot of money on a pistol. That's kind of a nice feature to have. The compensator, I guess they call it like a slide integrated expansion chamber or something like that. It's basically a compensator that my understanding is, like, if it was directly mounted to the barrel, would have more an effect than it does because it's slide mounted. But I think it works pretty well. I've not actually shot a P320 besides this one, so I can't give you a super good comparison of how much that compensator actually helps, but I can tell you that before I had this pistol, I had a Beretta APX, I had a Canic, like TP9, and I shoot this one a lot better than those. Now, this is like 4 times the cost of those pistols, so that's to be expected, but I would like to think, in my mind, that the compensator has something to do with that. I also really do like these serrations. So these serrations are not super brash. They don't stand a whole lot, but they do let you get plenty of purchase in the front, which is nice because I don't really want to rack, frankly, my bougie expensive sight. I want to be able to just do that, which is kind of cool. And I've also put a Go Guns what do you call the thing? Gas pedal, they call it? Yeah. And I like that actually quite a bit. If I only had a little bit of money to upgrade my P320, I would probably put this on there. It gives you a nice place to mount your support hand. And it really just builds consistency. It just makes sure you're gripping the gun the same way each time. And I find ultimately that's how you get better at shooting. So yeah, the gas pedal is great. I've also added these lock grip brass grips that are Cerakoted black. I really enjoy these grips as well. They add, I think, 7 or 8 ounces to the weight. I don't have the back brass grip. I just left the lock, or not, I'm sorry. What is that thing? The G10 grip on there. But I have added the lock grips. They're outstanding, great texture. They're planted, for lack of a better term. They don't grab your hand too much that it tears it up, but it does feel like you're grabbing something very positive on there, so that's kind of nice. Other features on the gun, the fact that it's an aluminum frame lets you put things like aftermarket grips on there. To me, that's really the main advantage of getting a metal frame versus a polymer frame, is the polymer frame is like, you're kind of stuck with what you got. But if you have an aluminum frame that can be screwed into, there are all kinds of aftermarket grips you can add to it. And besides that, haven't had any major malfunctions with the pistol, with one exception. Long time ago, I put the whole thing through a sonic cleaner. It took absolutely all of the grease off the pistol, and the gun did not like that. It had some problems to feed. It would just kind of like get around stuck between the feed ramp and the magazine. When it was going into battery, it would get stuck like right there and just not go forward. I hit it a few times. I put some more lube on there, and the problem has not returned since. So I guess if you have a gun like this, I would just leave it like it is. Just don't do anything crazy, like putting it through a sonic cleaner. Just wipe it down every couple hundred rounds, and that's pretty much it, frankly. So overall, very happy with this particular pistol. Would I buy it again? Honestly, yeah, probably. I think when this gun first came out, there were better options. I'm sorry, there were no options that offered these particular features, meaning slide integrated compensator, tritium sights, metal frame, optics ready. That was kind of a rare set of features 3 or 4 years ago. Not that it didn't exist in other guns, but it was not as common as it is today. So I feel like priced today, if this gun was $1,100, $1,200 to be competitive, most of the stores I see are still pricing at $1,400. I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably buy it again at that price anyway because I like it that much, but you know, it is what it is. It comes with these nice 21 round magazines, 3 of them. That's a great feature too. But yeah, that's a quick little review on the P320 AXG Legion.